Three reasons I chose to gatekeep, and you should do the same. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It will help your girl out. Appreciate it. So, reason number one that I chose to gatekeep is because I didn't realize that people are in competition with me. Now, I know that may sound like generic for some people and be like, yeah, you're in business. That's what happens. But no, like when I really got it started in the dog breeding business, I didn't realize like it is really people in my industry who want to compete with me. I found this out when I remember commenting under one of these large dog breeder platforms that I sell my dogs for $10,000. So when I went to Dollar Tree one day, that person is in a whole nother state. Okay. I'm in the state of Georgia. All right. I was in Dollar Tree and there was a woman there and we started talking. I don't even know how we started talking actually, but she told me that she just purchased a Rottweiler. Okay. And the Rottweiler that she purchased, she couldn't afford to get it from that large dog breeder platform that I told you had a platform. She couldn't get it from him because he sells his dog for $10,000. And I'm thinking, like, wait, like, when did he start selling his dogs for $10,000? So I'm like, you know what? Okay. So she started telling me about the person that she got her dog from, who's also a breeder here in Georgia. She did not do her due diligence and trusted them and paid $3,500 for her dog. Okay. But the dog has like a spine issue. All right. She can't give the dog back now because the dog is a year old. And so I really was like, okay, started noticing that I would share certain things online and then they would be sharing the same type of videos that I was sharing. And so then I would like ask certain questions or whatever, just wanting to know how to really help my dogs to live a healthy, successful life, right? When I first started out. This was with my first two dogs. And so then they would not give up information, they wouldn't share information or whatever. But I started noticing that I would get these like bots that would ask me certain questions, or they'll be like DMing me on other platforms or giving me calls or just people being nosy. All right. I was like, you know what? After I started realizing that they're in competition with me, I'm like, I'm not giving out no more information, okay, when it comes to dog breeding. All right. So I chose the gatekeep when it comes to that. The second thing is I started noticing that every time I would read the Bible would literally, the scriptures I would read that God would guide me to would be like, stop casting your pearls among swines. Like the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy, you know? And I didn't think about that until I started realizing, like, oh, there is a witchcraft um in this industry. Like people do certain things, okay, in order to see the profits that they want. All right. So here it is. I'm thinking that it's all about hard work and dedication. And then I started getting exposed to people that are in high places who do witchcraft in order to see profits. All right. I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? That's just not my preference, you know? And so I was like, okay, well, can't really do business with these people, you know? And then lastly, I started thinking about my great grandfather and how he purchased land from someone who said that the land that he purchased, the soil was infertile. All right. And so my great grandfather ended up purchasing the land and was yielding a harvest 100 times what he sold. All right. So now all of a sudden, the government is coming in, giving him fines because his crop is growing into government land. All right. And the fines used to be like $1,000 a day, very expensive. Okay. And he wouldn't know because he's on 100 acres, y'all. Like, he doesn't know that his crop, he never knew that it was a problem. He has people that's on his land who he told us specifically do not move them because they are part of the church. All right. So my great grandfather was he had good in him. Like he did a lot of good. All right. Because nobody is good. I was about to say he's a good person, but nobody is good. And so I started just realizing like the more that I would share, I would end up being things would be taken away from me. All right. And that's just in my personal life, not even in business, but just like in my career at first, before I became a business owner. All right. I had a career. And so I started noticing that, okay, they took that from me. And so I didn't want anything that anybody could take away from me anymore. All right. And so as I've been maturing, as I've been understanding business, as I've been understanding agriculture, which is a business, just as I've been understanding life, okay, these social spaces are meant to be social. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be social in these spaces. All right. I'm being very vulnerable and just explaining to you how I've made a lot of mistakes in business. Okay. And part of that was just oversharing, especially in social spaces, because people do watch. And the people that are in my industry do pay attention to these things. Though the general world may not be interested, the people who are making money, all right, in this industry are watching. And so I have two documentaries that I want to share with you. All right. That I do highly encourage you to go watch if you're interested in agriculture. All right. Kiss the Soil or Kiss the Ground. I think it's called Kiss the Ground. All right. And What the Health. Those two will help you on your journey. All right. And may the Lord reveal to you your heart's desires. Like, that's all I have. That's the best advice that I have for you. All right. So until we meet again, I love you guys. And remember, it's gatekeeping season. There's a wealth transfer happening. It's time for you to get a part of it. I can't tell you what to do in your life. I can only show you what I'm doing in mine. All right. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe. Peace.